Hi Scrubs, I hope you're well.
Hello, Starfam.
Hey, how's it going, Scouts?
Hi, and welcome to our special SSOCon mini-episode. To start off, thank you, SSOCon, for inviting us to do this special episode. And today, we are joined by a special guest, that is Jamie Darklake.
Welcome.
Hi everyone, thank you, and thanks for having me.
So Jamie, how long have you played Star Stable?
I signed up actually back in 2011 when the game wasn't even out.
Oh wow!
And then I started playing in 2012 after the global launch.
Wow, that is a long time ago.
Yeah,
that was a while
awesome.
ago.
Yeah, OG.
reaching my 10th anniversary soon.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you. And basically you can find me on Instagram or YouTube under the same name, Jamie Darklake, so I'm always happy to have you.
Thank you.
And today's topic is Creative Starfam. We will be asking Jamie some questions about creating Star Stable content. And Jamie was behind the Mistfall Me Art Challenge, which was a challenge towards Starfam to create your own in-game characters in the style of the Mistfall series, which is an animated series that Star Stable released in January 2021. And on to our first question is, what kind of content do you create and what tools and programs do you use?
So my answer to that is actually a mix of everything. I like making guides and tips about the game. Sometimes I review certain updates in the game. Sometimes I give thoughts on how to improve certain features. And I also like theories and small challenges like the Mistfall Me challenge. And I mainly use Photoshop, Sony Vegas, and if I do, for example, traditional art or any other crafting project, I use literally anything I have at hand.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, what kind of content are you most interested in, and where do you usually go to find that kind of content?
It's pretty much any trivia facts about the game or theories, and as well as art, because I love art, especially about Star Stable. So I mainly scout for it on Instagram, since I'm not really that active on any other platform nowadays.
I suppose that would be true because Instagram has become such a huge haven for all of the creativity of the Starfam.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, completely shifted over to it.
It has.
Yeah. Moving off that then, where do you usually find your inspiration, and do you have any favorite content creators at the moment?
So, about inspiration, I'm not a person who's on a regular posting schedule, so sometimes I just wake up and inspiration literally hits me in the face, and I'm like, yeah, that could be a cool idea, I'll do that. So I'm not actively seeking for it. I do sometimes get inspired by music, or of course other people's art, and people who definitely inspire me are Clara Lightland, obviously. And then also some artists called Maui May, Mariska Art, and the creator of the official SSO comics, whose name I definitely can't pronounce. So sorry for that in advance, Ali Pukangas.
We can definitely share them up on screen, so if anybody wants to check them out, please do.
Perfect.
What has been your best experience with Starfam so far, and what amazes you the most about our community?
So my two best experiences are actually back a few years when I had the chance to go to the SSO Live event in Stockholm.
Awesome.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I was so lucky to get there, and in general it was just really cool because you had the opportunity to talk to the staff and just seeing the whole Star Stable live stream from behind the scenes. And at some point I was also allowed to get into the recording room, and I was just sitting on a couch next to the Fripp statue, and that was definitely one of my highlights. And of course, the whole Mistfall Me challenge, because when I posted the picture I made, I didn't expect many people to join. I thought maybe 10 people will go and make their own version, and then it blew up like crazy. And in the end, I think we had over 300 posts. So that was definitely what amazes me about the community. Just so many people coming together and contributing to it. And some people started doing a template for the challenge and shared it, and just everyone helping each other out and bringing their own ideas into the challenge. That was amazing. I also saw many people doing their horses in the same style, and I definitely was a little bit too lazy and didn't jump onto that.
I thought it was gorgeous seeing everybody making their horses as well, along with their
Yeah,
characters.
it's really cute.
For sure. And some people even went ahead and did like 2 characters, 3 horses, so I was very, very blown away by how much people enjoyed it.
Mhm. No, I thought it was a very, very good challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what is your advice for other creators when dealing with pressure to post, maybe low confidence in their posts, or creative block?
So my first advice would pretty much be don't give the numbers on Instagram, for example, too much value.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you want to keep growing your reach or whatever, you have to post every second day. And for most of us, that's just not possible. You will burn out, you will feel pressure, you won't enjoy what you are creating. So I would suggest just focus on something you like doing and take your time to get it to a level where you say it's finished and not just put it out for the sake of being active. And as for confidence, this might sound very cheesy and bad, but I would just say fake it until you make it. Because people sadly do treat you differently based on the way you present yourself. So if you're just get out there and be like, hey, this is my art and I'm proud of it,
Yeah.
people will definitely resonate with that. Another tip that I had to learn the hard lesson, or the hard way, is, so I used, whenever I drew something that I didn't like, I would just like throw it out. I didn't want to look at it. But I would recommend actually keeping the drawings, even if you don't like them, because over time you will see improvement, and that definitely will lead to you gaining more confidence.
Yeah.
I think is a really good point, because I think a lot of people sometimes do think, oh, I shouldn't post this because it's not good enough, but you don't learn if you don't continue and keep trying. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, even with like very big artists, if you go back a year or 2 years or 5 years, you will definitely see they also had posts that aren't as stunning or perfect as they might be at the moment. So don't lose hope and just do your best. And again, measure on your own progress and not measure yourself compared to the most famous artist or the biggest YouTuber there is.
Yeah, well said.
Moving obviously forward with the whole social media situation, what is your advice for dealing with the negative sides of the community, such as art theft or abusive comments?
So for art theft, I can't really give you a good advice, sadly, because personally I didn't have to deal with it. I think the best way is just calling people out on it, try to still stay friendly and explain to them why it's not good, because when I was a 9-year-old child, I definitely also stole art, but I just didn't know better. So I think it's important to like not just go on a rampage and accuse people, but also might tell them why it's bad.
Yeah.
As for negative comments, I think there isn't one way to deal with it. Everyone has to find their own way. Some people might be best off just ignoring them, blocking them off. Personally, if I am confronted with a negative comment, I have it in the back of my mind all the time. So my approach is just like presenting them with the facts. For example, if someone calls me ugly, I would probably be like, well, you don't even know how I look like in most cases. So just try to reason with yourself why that comment shouldn't affect you in such a negative way.
Yeah, I think going off the art theft idea as well, is we also have to remember to educate our communities, so our followers, to not also kind of manhunt the people. Because like you said, when you're young, you don't really understand why taking somebody's photo or art is a bad idea. So to then have somebody's followers go and, you know, be a little bit more aggressive about it when you're trying to be the polite side, we just also need to remember to educate the community and be like, hey, no, art theft is not a good thing, but neither is, you know, a manhunt. So, but yeah, no, definitely agree.
For sure. And I would also suggest always reach out to the person directly and ask them to take the art down before you go public and, like you said, start a manhunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any tips for struggling creators or people thinking about starting to share their content?
Yeah, for people who struggle, again, I can't just stress this enough. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, because if you're a creative person, it doesn't work out if you put too much pressure on yourself. You won't be happy with the results you produce, and in worst case, you might even lose the motivation to work on a project completely. Sometimes it also helps just to try something completely new. And that's always possible to maybe get back into the mindset. And for people who start, I would say just try to maybe join community events, challenges, so you get into contact with other people who are maybe doing something similar. And maybe you get the chance to talk to someone who can give you feedback and help you start your account. Because, for example, for me, through the Mistfall Me challenge, I got to talk to so many people that I didn't know were on Instagram, and we had really great conversations, and it was just probably the first time on Instagram that I felt part of the art community, for example. Also, what I would recommend is if you like an artist, let them know, because many times we just look at it, maybe leave a like and that's it. But if you actually take the extra time to leave a comment, in my experience, many of them will get back to you. And again, then maybe you can start having a small project together or whatever.
I'm sure even just leaving like a nice little comment saying like, hey, I really like this project, like I really like this idea, you might even bump up an artist's confidence, because they might be posting something maybe they weren't too sure about and were worried as what kind of criticism they might get, and then to get kind and happy messages like that, I'm sure would either put a smile on somebody's face or would just, make their day a little bit too.
Yeah,
exactly. It's really important.
And I mean, in general, like if you enjoy their art, then leaving a comment will be always more valuable than just having a number go up by likes, for example.
Yeah. That's a good point, because I think as you mentioned, just like sometimes you can be creating stuff but you're not necessarily involved outside of it, and or you just feel kind of isolated. And I think if you do maybe start to reach out, you might make those connections and grow and maybe do other projects, as you mentioned. And I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, so my last tip would also be, don't just copy another artist. I mean, it's great if you get inspiration for them, but try to take your own spin on it, because there's already this other artist out there, so there's no use in just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. So do you believe that the Starfam community enhances the gaming experience and helps keep players active in the game?
Absolutely, because through the community you get to interact with the game a lot more. For example, there are so many role-playing accounts on Instagram, and they create their own little version of Jorvik, for example. And I think it's really cool to see people using the world we know from the game and then expanding it with their own ideas and the views on certain topics, certain characters. And again, like, if there are challenges like picture challenges where you take a picture for every day of the month based on a certain prompt, it's a reason for me to get back into the game, log in, and just spend some time with the game I like and enjoy, and it gives me a motivation to maybe explore places I haven't been to that much because there's just no quest to do there, so usually I won't go there. So definitely.
And then what do you think the next trend will be in the community?
Oh, that's a hard one. Personally, I love memes, so maybe something funny.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great. Or maybe what I could also imagine is some sort of maybe competition, maybe released from Star Stable themselves.
We're dropping some hints to Star Stable here.
Yeah, I would love...
Wink, wink.
I would
really
love
fun.
memes or Star Stable made into vines. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
right up my alley, that one.
There are some very good memes already that crack me up every time.
Comics. There are funny comics out there that just get me every time.
Yeah.
Like Mikali's art.
Yeah.
She's really funny.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention her. Her comics are
they're so
always
good.
amazing.
I absolutely adore that Wednesday one. Like, when I saw that one, You know, it's
yeah.
Wednesday.
But it's
I
Wednesday.
laughed for like 10 minutes. It got me.
I also love that. So she takes everyday things from the game and then just like thinks it through. And for example, the one with the last year's Halloween horse where it turns into a ghost.
I saw
yeah.
that today,
So-
actually, yeah.
Really
Yeah.
cool. To go on with that, what can Starstable add to the game to help content creators?
I saw that suggestion actually on Instagram a few times, where it was pretty much similar to the photo mode just for recording. It's probably very hard to do it from the technical side, but I think that would definitely help a lot. Especially if you could also maybe set it to sunshine or rainy weather or stormy weather. Because if you want to achieve that in videos, you also always have to edit it in the program. So having that feature in the game would be a huge help. Would make things a lot easier. There's also maybe a feature where you could just hide all players around you. That would be great, not just for content creators, but also if you do the latest quests and want to do them in peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Even though they added those zones where you usually don't see other players, which is already a good start. And the last thing that I could think of is maybe a pose mode for maybe NPCs or something where you can just set them to a certain pose or even your character, so you don't always have to do it with the emotes.
That's interesting.
Something like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing has something like that, don't they? Where you can go to a specific island and then you can pick one of your villages and you can basically just have like a full-blown photo shoot. And it's really helpful. Yeah, so
That's cute.
I like the idea of that, Jamie.
Yeah.
Even though I have to admit I never played Animal Crossing. Such a shame.
Yes, so that's the end of our Creative Starfam topic today. But we have one final question for you, Jamie, and that is, do you have any wishes of what you would like to have added into the game?
Yes, absolutely. My number one dream update at the moment is please finally update the Icelandic horses to Generation 3.
Yes.
Because they're my favorite breed. And I bought every single color of the original ones. And after the release of the Gothland pony and the Finn horse, I have my hopes up for another very cute pony-like breed. So, please.
I think Rose would agree with you there as well if she was still here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And my second suggestion would to have finally the home stable customization.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Because I think that could just add a really personal touch to our home stable, especially since we can invite friends into the home stable now. So I would love to have my cute Halloween decoration all year round.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not biased at all, but I agree.
I also agree.
And with that, we thank you, Jamie, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And a big thanks to April and Crumpet from SSOCon for inviting us to do this episode. We hope you enjoyed the rest of SSOCon, and thank you for having us here.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a dream come true.
Aww.
Thank you.
And I hope everyone enjoys the SSOCon.
Yes.
Yes, have fun.
Have fun. Yes.
Take part.
Enjoy!
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
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 Bye.